I mean, I'm getting pushed to the background as Tiffany, Amy, Amanda, and everybody's gonna start taking over the show. A little less this and a little more, that. Yeah. Exactly. All right. From Deadline, the talk will remain dark this week and will return to originals next Tuesday. The daytime talk show had previously canceled its Monday and Tuesday live show and was supposed to have a new episode yesterday on the 17th. This coming Friday and Monday were already going to be preempted due to the NCAA tournament. The news comes amid shocking new allegations against Osbourne that she had used offensive language, including racial epithets towards former co-host Julie Chen, as well as lesbian slurs when referring to her former co-host producer Sara Gilbert. During Wednesday's episode of The Talk, Sharon Osbourne became emotional and combative during a discussion with her co-host about her public support for Piers Morgan following his comments about Meghan Markle and being perceived. And how she was being perceived. Sheryl Underwood noted that while you are standing by your friend, it appears that you are giving validation or safe haven to something that he had uttered that is racist. Among his most incendiary remarks, Morgan said she did not believe Markle's suicide thoughts. That's just a little bit of what she had to say and what Piers Morgan had to talk about. So, now that we've gotten a little bit of an update of what's been going on with Piers Morgan again, he's back in the news again, and his bestie, I guess, Miss Underwood, had to kind of put herself out there, showing him a little support. And now
Osbourne, not Underwood.
Osbourne, because they're both Sheryl Underwood and there's Sharon Osbourne. You can tell that I watch The Talk every damn day, right? But you were about to, but before we got started live, you was sharing a little bit of your thoughts of, is this her being thrown under the bus?
Well, I mean, I just don't understand how she was blindsided. Piers was all over the media,
right?
News, entertainment, all over social media. I mean, he was everywhere. Everybody knew or was hearing about what he had said.
Right.
You and I had a conversation about this last week. So I don't understand how she would have been blindsided unless she just wasn't told beforehand that was going to be a question.
Oh,
but it's not like she didn't know what was going on.
Exactly. And that was what a lot of people, I was watching some clips from, what's his name? The radio host for The Breakfast Club. He's called Charlemagne, calls himself Charlemagne the God on The Breakfast Club. Shout out to The Breakfast Club. Okay. He said the exact same thing you're saying. He's like, everybody knows that you're, or a lot of people know that they're friends, Piers Morgan and Sharon, and it was like you said, it was all over the news. And The Talk is a show about people talking about the latest hot topic, like what we do here. We talk about the latest trending news. So right. you had to know it was coming. And not only did she not get blindsided, she tweeted about this before the episode before her show started. She tweeted about this on her own channel about support and everything. So you knew that this was a hot topic. So you knew it was a possibility of being asked about it. But in her...
Well, again, I think it goes back to she didn't have time to prep. They didn't say, hey, we're going to ask you about this.
So she didn't have her talking points probably prepared for it. That's why. Because during the argument, the fiery back and forth, I guess, with Underwood and her, she mentioned, like, don't you start crying, because I should be the one that should be crying. She was referring to the last time something like this happened when one of the ladies were quote unquote blindsided and she got emotional. She began to cry, and I guess she felt like maybe that was bubbling up under the surface for her too, because she felt like she was being thrown under the bus. So the lady said that they made a pact that no one would ever come out with a hard hitting question like that without the other person being prepared. And that's where Sharon is saying that she got blindsided. It's like, okay, this is a hot topic, but no one said that we were going to bring this up at the top of the show or something like that. I'm like, okay, well.
But is it really hard hitting? If she's already made comments, if she's friends with him, she's already got her opinion.
Right.
The only real reality is that her opinion isn't PC'd. Right. She didn't have time to make it appropriate.
Right.
So shooting off the cuff is apparently not her thing to do. Which, I mean, I get it. Hey, I can get in trouble for that stuff too. You bring something up and I'm liable to just all over the place. But like you and I were talking about, like that's not even for me.
I call that the Kim Kardashian setup for me. There we go. So, all right, we're back. 3, 2, 1.
Because you and I had this conversation, and for me, my focus for Piers Morgan is whether, like I said, whether you believe her or not. The last thing you want to do with somebody that is talking about suicide is negate them,
right?
Because if they go and do it, you are going to be the evil villain and you are going to have so much guilt. So I would say err on the side of safety. And if you believe her, don't believe her, support the situation, try to get them help. Say, that way, you did what you were supposed to do. And if they don't do it and it was a cry for help, then that's what it was. But if they do it, then your backside's not on the line when it comes down to it. And you and I, like I said, you and I discussed this. It's just, that's my biggest issue.
Yeah. And more than that, I mean, going back to Piers Morgan, after hearing about that whole story, and I started to dive deeper into where it all really stemmed from. And it turns out that Piers went on a date with Meghan back in the day. They went out on a date. And I guess that, they spent their evening together. I guess they had dinner or something like that. And he called her a cab or a ride back home. Like the date was over. She, very nice and it was fine. He was happy. But before that date, I mean, he was on cloud nine. They were friends. He talked about her in such a positive light all the time. He was really into her. He wanted to date her. And that night, and so the story goes like this. And this is another thing that Piers Morgan's co-host kind of called out to when that day that he stormed off the set. This is why, because I was like, there has to be a reason. That look on Pierce's face, why he couldn't stand it. And this is why. And this is Pierce's own words. Another interview where he explains, hey, this was before Harry and her got married. He said, is this true that you and Meghan went on a date? And this is from Piers himself. He said, we went on a date. It was fine. We had dinner. We had a great time. We had a good conversation. She was ready to go home for the night. I called her a cab or a Lyft or whatever to go home. Instead of going home, she took the ride to another, like a party or another event where Harry happened to be. And that's where she met Harry. And the rest is history. Now, after that, she cut ties off with it. I guess he tried again. Like, hey, can we go out again? And then she said, she said no. I'm like, I met Harry. We're hitting it off, and that's it. And on that interview, you could tell he was like pissed. Like, I thought I had a chance, and he was kind of being funny about it. But this was years ago. But ever since then, when he became the host of that Good Morning Britain show, now they're dating. It's getting hot and heavy, and the more Harry and Meghan's relationship evolved, the worse the news coverage from Piers got. And then when they got married, it was all just fire. I mean, that's where it's really all stems from. Is it racism? Maybe not, but it definitely is fucking jealousy. Okay, let's just go.
My question is did she consider it a date, or was this just two friends going out to dinner?
Look, he told me everything I needed to know the second he said, I called her. She said she was ready to go home, and then that taxi or whatever happened to make it to another party. She already, what do they call that? That fear of missing out. She already had it in her mind that this,
FOMO.
This was FOMO. This was motherfucking FOMO. She was sitting there probably stirring that spaghetti, not eating a bite. He was probably chatting away, not noticing that bored look in her eyes, probably like for every woman he's with. and she was like, I heard there's a party up the street. Let me see if I can get my homegirl to call me on the phone. See if Tiffany Castleberry could save me from this. Like, Tiff, go to the bathroom. Tiff, can you call me in 5 minutes? I'm gonna pretend like it's an emergency. You know how it is. Come on.
That's girl code. I know nothing.
I mean, so that's how I feel. So fast forward to that whole thing about him going off on his show, walking off.
He's just butthurt.
Exactly. And then Sharon Osbourne felt like she had to defend him. But as butthurt as he was still falling into the whole, I'm not going to not say it wasn't racial, because he didn't have to, he didn't have to attack her as much as he did. Because it's whether it was racism or not, it's going to make people that support her and understand that situation feel like it is. But and it could turn into that. Just because you are okay with her at one point doesn't mean that you might not have those deep-seated feelings. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So
well, and he didn't have to go off on a rant and a tangent
like every time
on national television.
And then he couldn't take his comeuppance for 5 minutes from his co-host. Right. He's like, I understand that you had a relationship with her, and I understand that she cut your bitch ass off, and I understand that she didn't want to fuck with you anymore. And he was like, nope, can't do it. No,
I can't hear it. Not doing it. I'm walking off.
Exactly.
I have to keep my dignity.
Yeah.
As he said.
Exactly.
Nope.
So you understand.
But I think what Sharon should have done, if she wants to support her friend, support your friend. Mm-hmm. But, right? So if it's a question about racism, I support him as my friend. I think he went wrong in this direction, or I think he shouldn't have probably said this, or maybe he meant this instead of what everybody took it as. Yeah. Whatever even if you want to justify it, but at least there's some kind of acknowledgement that there's an issue that people are taking up.
There's something happening. Right? Like that's one thing that people don't really get. I mean, does the accusation get thrown around a lot, and is it always correct? Maybe not. But what's really going on is that person's feelings. Like, if you felt like something was sexist and I didn't, does that mean that you instantly have to go, oh well, I didn't see it that way, Chris? I guess it's not sexist. But if a guy came up to you, slapped you, like a person, total stranger, slapped you on the behind and tried to get inappropriate with you, and I just diminish it and just go, come on, he was just playing. Like, it's a freaking stranger. Like, he doesn't have the right to do that stuff to you. So it doesn't matter whether or not I agree with you. It happened to you. This was your experience, and just the example. So just an example. Yeah, just the example, right? I'm like, I don't know if this happened today or not. I'm sorry if it did, but I just feel like that's exactly what happened. Sharon Osbourne trying to was on the spot, tried to defend her friend on one thing, and then it came off as if she was defending him on a whole different other level. Like you said, you're diminishing the seriousness of with mental illness, with how Sheryl probably could construe it as possible racism, how it was definitely sexism and stuff going on with his butt hurt. I'm never gonna get a girl as pretty as her ever, kind of. I'm telling you, I can go on a whole thing about what's probably going on in that dude's head. There is a shrine. I think we talked about this last week. There is a fucking shrine of her.
You think so?
Of Meghan Markle.
I think that it's just chalked up to he's butthurt and dealing with it in a very inappropriate way, especially for a man of his mature age.
This dude has a Dexter-style kill room in his basement. He's like, you
gotta bring up my favorite person.
This dude, I'm telling you, he knew he was never gonna get to use that damn basement when Meghan got engaged to Harry. He's like, nope, that's it. I gotta take all my equipment back to Home Depot. This is ridiculous. I almost had her. I'm like, she was gonna be a victim. I'm telling you, man.
Oh my God.
Look.
You just had to run off on that.
If she is into British boys, and that was his only way in, like, oh, she's got a thing for the accent, that's great. And then 30 minutes later, she meets the prince. Like, I'm sorry, dude, take the L. You lost.
You got trumped right there. Like, just one.
Exactly.
Probably more than like five steps up.
If you went on a date with a dude that you were okay, like semi okay with, and you're like, he's maybe let's see how it goes. And then I call you on the phone and I'm like, girl, there's a party like about 30 minutes from where you are right now, and what's his name from the what's his name? Malcolm from the Young and the Restless. What's his name?
Shamar Moore.
And Shamar Moore is hosting.
The fact that you know his character from Young and the Restless.
That's the only reference I ever got back in the day growing up. You little ain't Shamar Moore from the Young and the Malcolm from the Young. Okay, but that's the scenario. What would you do? Like, hey, you're on a date with a guy, a dude that you kind of okay, let's see where it kind of goes, and then Shamar Moore just asked for you at this other party down the street. What you gonna do?
I'm gone.
Exactly. Exactly. Like,
I'm gone. I'm sorry.
Chris, you're on a date.
Not sorry.
Chris, you're on a date with this very attractive, very nice young lady, but Holly Berry just asked about you at this party now. Yeah, I've gotta go. Here's a few bucks. Pay for the meal. I'll see you later.
I done threw my whole wallet down. I'm fucking gone.
I know we landed on that one for a long time. Guys, let us know what you guys think about this whole thing with Sharon Osbourne defending her friend. I mean, is it just a friend being a friend? That's great. Or did she really just, write a check that her butt is probably not going to be able to cash? Because now the accusations and stuff are now all open. Like, a lot of stuff is now coming out about Sheryl now. Now a lot of people are coming out.
She said that. She was like, oh, it's a pile on now.
Now it's
Everybody's
a pile on.
Coming out of the woodwork. They're not.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, there's co-hosts that you work with.
Yeah.
Now, from my understanding, Sara Gilbert's not the one that came out and said anything, but people have said it about what she said about Sara Gilbert.
And other people from Sharon's past who may have had a bad conversation or experience with her now they when that stuff starts snowballing, then people have the courage to be like, oh, she said something prejudiced to me, or she said something she hurt my feelings on this thing. It's gonna if there's skeletons in your closet, like I always say on the show, prepare yourself.
Oh, for sure, without a doubt. Like, did you hear some of the names that she used for Sara Gilbert and Julie Chen?
Yeah, I read about that stuff. I'm like, oh, it was fun while it lasted there. Thank you for being a friend.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody
see, like the wonton comments for Julie Chen. Julie Chen is a beautiful woman. I mean, I don't care that she's Asian. It makes no difference to me. I think she's absolutely beautiful. Holly Robinson Pete, I think, is also beautiful. Don't really care that she's black. Doesn't bother me. But
are we about to have the conversation about all the other women that you're attracted to again?
We're not having that conversation.
All right.
I'm simply stating that they're both absolutely beautiful women, right? Like, what I want to know what the encounter was between Sharon and Holly that made her say that she was ghetto and that they needed to find another funny black woman to be on the episode.
I'm
like, so to me, she sold herself out when she said, you need to find another funny black woman.
Yeah.
Well, why she got to be black? Why are we focused on that? Why can't it just be, we need to find another funny woman because this one we don't mesh well.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I
wouldn't be like, I know you're not calling me ghetto. Didn't your husband bite the head off of a damn dove?
Did you ever see even one episode of their series their reality show that they had?
I'm proud to say,
how much money in the world you have? There are some people you will never be able to hand class to.
I can't. I've seen highlights of certain things when certain topics, like when the Roseanne Barr thing happened, and because what's her name who plays Darlene is on that show. Stuff I've seen little tidbits here.
Sara Gilbert.
But I'm not gonna break an appointment to catch up to the talk. If I want to have the talk, I'm gonna have it right here on the show with you. But guys, let us know what you guys think about all that. I know we ran long on that one, but me and Tiff, we get fired up.
There's a lot of facets. There's a lot of different avenues we could go down. I'm just saying.
Piers Morgan, you better calm your ass down. Like she said, no.
Stop calling dinner with a friend a date, man.
She got 2 babies by this dude now. It's over.
Right? Yeah.
Like,
You done. You're
You're
out.
done, son. All right. Like, tell us what you put in the box below, guys. Let us know what you guys think about it, and we'll talk about it some more on We Got Your Mail.
If you like what you saw, make sure to subscribe to the channel and please drop a like on this video. It really does help us. Also, don't forget you can turn on notifications so you don't miss a single review, react, why is that trending, or We Got Your Mail.